Wait, hold up. Chelsea.
Yeah, Chelsea.
Hey!
So watch what you say.
Bold to hop.
Gonna get you.
Mate.
What will you say?
Welcome, boys. Episode 2 of the Civil Talk Show. Today we have a debut, bro. Last episode was amazing. Just want to give you boys a round of applause. We got like really good feedback. But yeah, we have David here, debut, and we also have a special guest, which we will release later on. But there's been a lot going on, boys, and I want to start off nice and slow, not too harsh. I don't know if you see you boys seeing the video. We'll also put it in the link below. It's just in reference to Jürgen Klopp and a few comments that he made about the African Cup. A few people took it the wrong way. A few people were agreeing with his comments. They said it wasn't that bad. But basically what happened is during a press conference, he was referring to two of his best players, Mane, Salah, and he referred to the African Cup that's coming up as a little tournament. A lot of people didn't like that. And then there was a second press conference where one of the journalists pulled him up on it. So my question to you boys is, firstly, what do you think of the comments? Do you agree with him? Were they not as bad? Or, like, for the African nations of CAF, like, is there something that shouldn't be said, you know, worldwide and that? I just want to hear what you guys think.
I think it was taken out of context, man. Like, he didn't mean it that way, honestly.
Joey?
Yeah.
Is that you, Joey?
Yeah, it's me.
Is that you, Joey?
I've watched the clip, like a few times. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't.
I'm surprised.
Yeah.
I'm actually surprised.
When I heard it, I thought, oh. But then...
Because we had a chat. We had a chat on the group.
Yeah, but like, going back to look at the clip, you know, a few more times and, you know, just watching the press conference like in full, it wasn't... He didn't mean it like that.
What do you boys think?
Can you hear me properly? I watched the clip more than 10 times. The guy meant what he said, bro. It's not even he meant what he said. He said what he was thinking, but he just said it in a... How can I say it? It's kind of like reverse racism. You say something, but you think you're not being racist, but it's racist. He said what he meant, but he said it in a way where it could be like, oh, did he actually mean that? He meant it. He meant it. And then when he realized that he was getting the backlash, he's like, oh, I didn't mean little in that way. I meant like there's little tournaments everywhere. Mate, he said it's a little tournament.
Exactly.
When you look at all the other tournaments, your Euros, your let's not even put World Cup, your Euros, your even Champions League.
That's a good point, bro. Would you ever said that about
even Champions League?
Champions League or something?
He wouldn't have, but I don't think he would. But at the same time, he was talking about the Copa America.
Yeah.
And he was talking about the Asian Cup as well.
Yeah.
You know, it was just like...
I think Dylan wants the mic.
This is a statement you make, man. Like,
let me stop him there. He wasn't talking about the Asian Cup. He brought that after to argue his point.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, but look. If I say to you, oh, I don't like you. Oh, but you're a good guy. You know, because you do this, you do that. That doesn't delete the fact that I don't like you. I still don't like you. So it's a little calm.
Argue with that.
It's a little calm.
That's a good point.
That's fair. You don't like someone, you say it. But obviously he's not happy about his players going to the African Cup. Those are like his most influential players in the game. He's not happy about it. Yeah? That's the fact. You can't take that away. And he's not trying to hide that. The way he said it, I personally feel like he didn't think too deep into it. maybe there's something in there, but I don't think in the moment he meant it like that. We can always take things out of context and Charlie.
That's where
I just don't feel like
I do agree with you
he
in
meant
that
it that way.
sense, yeah. In the sense where you can tell he was frustrated about
Yeah.
his play, so his anger was more directed to Liverpool, right? But at the same time, like the way he said it, where I also agree with you, Dylan, the way he said it is, you could have said it in so many other ways, bro.
Yeah, you could have.
Like the way you said it in your head, it's a little cup. It's something that during, like when you're doing your schedules and everything, and the African Cup comes up, you're like, oh, I'm gonna lose these guys to the African Cup.
Everyone has like very small respect for the African Cup. People don't value it as much as us Africans
Yeah.
do value it.
Yeah.
So we've already established that. We know they do that. Him saying that was just him, voicing out his frustration. I don't think he would go on camera knowing very well how much backlash he would get from it and, like say things.
Okay, so
that
to be
way.
the devil's advocate with that one, yeah?
Yeah.
I'll ask all you boys a question. Do we even value the African Cup? Ourselves?
Good question. I grew up
Do
watching it.
you watch it?
I grew up
I
watching
know
it.
you watch
I
it.
value it.
Dylan, do you watch it?
I watch it.
In and out all the games, like you do
I watch
Champions
all-
League?
Yeah, I
David,
watch all the games.
You watch all
but
the
I don't
games in and
value
out?
it.
Okay. Kelvin, you watch it in and out, there and there?
Like, I think when I was growing up in Africa, obviously the time difference now, like, he obviously, when they play, I think it's like, 3 a.m., 4 a.m. in the morning and stuff. So it's sort of like, I'll watch the highlights after. And also, you don't know what channel it's on, so you sort of
Yeah,
don't have
so it's not accessible.
that idea. But I think the comments, it's a funny one. I think he meant it. Because you can't say little, bro. You could use for a major
Yeah.
tournament. Like, same way you show respect to Euros, Copa, like Asian Cup. Obviously, this is not the first time the African tournament is happening. So why are they complaining? Like, there's so many years where it's been happening, over 60 years now and stuff. And Klopp just seems to complain about everything. I don't know. It just doesn't make sense.
I agree with that.
I think it's a little tournament. I think it's a little tournament. Like, the way I look at it is, when I look at the African Cup and I look at other tournaments,
Yeah.
it's little. Now,
Compared to them,
you
say
playing-
We just got VAR.
you playing for your country is a big thing.
Yeah.
That is a big thing. And that's why I can't say, like, how you're saying, oh, he didn't mean it that way, I entirely disagree with you. Media is put there to either promote you or demote you. So when you say something controversial, they're going to try and demote you. And you have to try and fix that. So all he was doing was fixing it. He wasn't saying, when he was saying, oh, I didn't mean that, that's all a part of fixing it. He meant it.
He meant it.
He meant what he said. In his mind, when he's out training and I'm losing 2 plays, he's like, it's not him pissed off at Liverpool. Liverpool are killing it. He has no reason to be pissed off at Liverpool. He's like, these Africans, bro, they're not even VAR.
True.
If you guys go on Google and type in African Cup VAR, and I'll show you the PowerPoints.
Bro, there's a PowerPoint, bro. Someone was like grand final, someone was...
I'm telling you, it's a little comp. I'm sorry to say.
So
African
your
Cup's a little comp.
point is, you agree it's a little tournament. So when he said that, he did mean it.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. So
100%.
so let's say you were Klopp right now.
Yeah.
Right. But you were African. Would it be okay for you to go and say that?
If I was African,
Yeah. And do you think you would get as much backlash?
nah. If you're African, you wouldn't get as much backlash.
I think you will.
You will?
Let's say Patrick Vieira goes and said that.
If Patrick Vieira went and said that, he wouldn't get as much. Because, okay, well, when I'm talking about the backlash, look at how many people now have gone and commented about what Klopp has said. Patrick Vieira has. If Patrick Vieira said that, you wouldn't have, who's another African player?
Ian Wright.
Ian Wright wouldn't be like, let me go and pull up Patrick Vieira.
I think Ian will.
Yeah.
Knowing Ian, I think he will
Yeah.
because like he's not someone that's scared to obviously voice his opinion as well.
Yeah.
And also, just because you're black doesn't mean you can like what's the word, like downgrade a tournament just because like obviously Patrick Vieira is from France, but he's still black. But you can't just because you're black doesn't give you the right to say, oh, it's a little tournament and then you get away with it. I don't think you will. It'll still upset a lot of people because the fact that people will expect him as an African to obviously speak good things about the African tournament, even though he's never played in it. But I think you'll still get the backlash that Klopp got.
I don't think it would be as bad, but he would still get it because literally the journalist that pulled him up, that was bad.
I think that he's Nigerian. I think.
Yeah, that was bad, bro.
Yeah.
Like if you think about it from like a media perspective, that was bad, you know. But if a black person said that, I don't think like they would, you know, Ian Wright might say something after, or someone might write something later on, but pull him up during the press conference, I don't think they'll do that. Honestly.
I was going to ask you a question. You said, as a black person, even though he's from France, there's some things that he needs to, like, he should say good things about the cup. What could he say?
Well, he's losing players as well.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, for example, he's put on the spot.
Yeah.
You're losing players for the African Cup. Apart from they're going to go play for their country, what good things can he say about the African Cup?
Well, like as a smart person, he wouldn't go and say, "Oh, there's a little tournament happening."
Yeah.
He will literally just be like, "Oh, it's a."
The main thing was, as you said, like he wasn't really talking about Liverpool per se, and he wasn't really talking about the African Cup per se. It was more the description that he gave to the African Cup, which people didn't like. You know what I mean? So if he had literally
So the major tournament is happening.
not even if he literally just said we're losing players to the African Cup, fine.
I want to
It'd be
ask you
fine.
something. So you're saying he was racist, saying calling it a little tournament, yeah?
Not racist. I would say.
Oh, but like,
he's
okay,
yeah.
you just
He
didn't
doesn't
agree
value
with the
it.
fact that he said it was little. But that's
I agreed.
yeah. But okay, I guess what I mean is, you do know deep down that he doesn't like the African Cup. He's made that clear to everyone. Year in, year out, he complains about it. This isn't the first time he said something that you might say, oh, this guy, he's not on board with the African Cup. We all know it. What if when he said it's a little tournament, he just meant, oh, there's, some, like, just a comp, like, happening. You agree with the fact that the tournament is little.
No, but
So if he says
in
it,
terms of exposure, it is a little tournament, but African Cup has been going on longer, just compared to Euros.
yes, but if we like we've all accepted that it's a little tournament, we're trying to argue, against the fact that he said it's a little tournament, if that's what he means. But you agree that it's a little tournament. So what's the problem?
So what I'm trying to say is we shouldn't be smashing him because he just said the truth is pretty much what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But because a reporter on the other side smashed him, he now had to cover up the truth by saying, there's other little tournaments.
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
Because right now what we're doing is, you said it's a little tournament. What's the best way to kind of put it out there and make it a bigger tournament? And pretty much it's little steps like this, us sitting down here talking about the African Cup. So if we're going to move forward, I think him making that comment, it was the truth. That's his truth. And he decided to say that. So it's now up to us, the black people and the African people, to actually watch the games, promote the games, talk about it on talk shows and stuff like that. So my question to you guys is, are you guys excited for the African Cup? Are you watching the games?
I'm excited for it.
That's it.
I am, like, I've always been.
You made me
Yeah.
start watching.
I've always known what channel it's on. I would I'll subscribe to it for a month, watch it, and just not, renew my subscription. Like, the problem I have is, like, we don't get a lot of coverage. You don't get a lot of people making like a big fuss about it. The African Cup is coming up.
thing.
You don't get all the media exposure. All those things, we don't get it. And that's what Ian Wright was saying. When it comes to media, there's like very little coverage for
It doesn't fit
African
the
Cup.
agenda. It doesn't.
So yeah, when it comes to that, I've always been annoyed about the fact. But when these people say things, they're saying it, well, whatever. But they've made it known to us. It's not today. They've always been like that. They hate the tournament for a good reason too.
They don't hate the tournament.
They do hate the tournament.
tournament.
If you're a coach and your best players are leaving to go play in that tournament,
They
you
don't
know
like
you're
it.
gonna drop points.
They don't like
You would hate it,
Yeah.
not just you. the big guy that owns the club that's paying these players millions of dollars, like, you know, a year, they're not gonna be happy.
Yeah,
man.
but they
Come
know
on,
that before
think
they even
about
sign
it.
the players. Like, let's say Chelsea back in the days when we used to lose Drogba, Kalu, was like Jeremy.
Yeah, we
like
lose players, man.
I've never seen Mourinho like.
You know what you bargained for.
Said,
Exactly.
oh, little tournament.
You know what you bargained for. But it's our fault.
Of course, we don't.
That's what I'm saying.
It's not. See, we're saying media.
Yeah.
This has nothing to do with media, because and I wanted to make this
You
point.
cannot expect the white media to promote.
Exactly.
I wanted to make this point, right?
Yeah.
You have France, a team of so many Africans,
80%
right?
black.
That's pretty much Africa. But why can't these same players we're saying, oh, they're from Africa, then why don't we have players in our countries that are that caliber if they're from Africa? So we kind of use that as a way to water down the issue. We say, oh, all the European teams have all the best African players. If they don't have the best African players. They have the best European players who are African. Because if they have the best African players, we have a whole continent in Africa with so many countries, but we don't have any best African players.
I feel like Africans, we like to react off problems as well. You know, like when there's nothing happening, we don't promote, we don't try and big it up. But when someone says something bad about, we want to attack
definitely.
them. So, like, I agree with both your points, both really good points. You agree, you agree with Klopp.
I don't.
I'm just saying that for the camera.
Don't
Joey,
get me wrong. I don't agree with him. I just said what he said could have been taken out of context.
Okay.
I don't agree with him.
Okay, you don't agree
He
with
shouldn't
him,
have said it, but I'm saying it could have been taken out of context. From my perspective,
from
though.
your perspective, Dylan,
He should have just said it.
he should have just said, okay. So no one's really disagreeing or agreeing. It's more like you understand where he's coming from in a way, and you think that it was kind of like damage control. Like he already said it, so
100%.
just own up to it. And Mr. Bellin,
Yeah, honestly, if you're gonna say something,
Just say it
don't
with your chest.
backtrack and make yourself look like a fool.
Yeah.
Because like, speak your mind and be free about it. Like, if you're gonna say it, say it. Like, don't come here and be like, oh,
Yeah.
I didn't mean it like that. Of course you did. We all know you did. Don't try to play the. I don't know
Pretty
what
much,
it,
yeah.
it's.
Yeah, I'm the same as well. I feel like he meant what he said at the end of the day, but at the same time, like it's a little tournament, bro. And that the only reason it's a little tournament is because us ourselves, like, we don't really big it up as much, and we need to start doing that right now. You get me? So yeah. Today we have a special guest, Mr. Kelvin, the only guy I know that spells his name backwards.
That's right.
And it sounds amazing, bro.
Yeah.
How do you say it?
Nivlek, you know?
Nivlek.
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 That's how you say it.
So yeah, as a little ritual we do, this little talk show is sponsored by Manifest Sense, Beautiful Sense. We give our boys a gift.
Appreciate it.
So
Thank
that's
you
for
so much.
And you as well. You get a gift. But come on after now.
We were gonna give Kelvin 2, but he supports Arsenal.
Oh.
So,
Hey.
so boys, I'll start off with a little something I put in the group not too long ago. Just about Lukaku not being happy at Chelsea. And players just thinking he's bigger than the club. And then the little comments like this that I'm just like, man, people just literally just jump on social media and read something and just bandwagon and everything. So yeah, we'll talk a little bit about Lukaku and then we'll jump into Chelsea. How disappointing we've been from first to
Second.
third. Let me just say third, bro. Let's just say third. But yeah, you need to watch what you say. Because I have a Chelsea fan here, a Chelsea fan here,
Yeah.
Chelsea fan here,
Yeah, so what?
Chelsea fan in the back as well. Oh, yeah, Liverpool, so yeah. And he's Arsenal. So what do you think, boys? What do you think about our performance over the last 5 weeks? Or Chelsea's performance over the last 5 weeks? And are we blaming Tuchel? Can we give him a bit of heat as well? Or? I want to hear your thoughts. You had a lot to say in the group, so I want to hear your thoughts, boys.
Look, it's a tricky one because we're still pretty early in the season. But I think with Chelsea, we play a type of football where once you figure out the system, you can break down the system.
Break it down, yeah.
Teams have figured out the system,
Yeah.
but we're too far in to change the system.
And do you know another thing as well? I think Tuchel is very stubborn. He's someone that it's like if it's not broken, don't fix it. But he's too stuck in that way. That doesn't work for the EPL. Like you always need to be switching up the way you play. Look at Leeds. Came in, killed it. Now, not that great. Wolves, same thing. Came in with a different style, killed it. Now, everyone just figured out how they play. But I blame the coach, honestly. I blame Tuchel for us not playing well. I can't blame anyone else. David's looking at me, giving me eyes, right? He hates when I say that. But yeah, man, you boys have been watching the games. I don't know.
Why do you blame the coach, but?
I just feel like he's
Just because of tactics?
Yeah, and a lot of us Chelsea fans, we keep making excuses. I know we've had injuries. I know COVID and things have been happening. But so many of these players have been playing in the wrong position. And everything else is amazing. Like our stats are amazing in terms of holding the ball and everything, possession. But where we lack is our attacking third up front. And I think over the past couple of weeks, him placing a few players up there has been so off for me. For example, Pulisic, I cannot understand why he's playing number 9. I can't. It doesn't work in my head.
I would disagree in the sense where you're saying that he doesn't change his tactics. I feel like the guy's trying a few things, and he's trying to see what works. The amount of different players that have played so many different positions and stuff like that, and obviously putting in other people. I feel like it's obviously going to be a hit at times, and sometimes it's going to be a bit of a miss. He's complaining obviously right now, especially with the five subs and stuff like that, which is fair. I think it's a fair comment because they play quite a bit. But the guy's never. This is the first time he's actually coached in the Premier League. True. He doesn't understand like the climate and like that. This has been going for years, so it's a bit of a shock to him. So I feel like he's trying to manage it and obviously deflect some of the pressure. But I think, to be honest, I wouldn't say it's him. But Chelsea's squad depth for me is probably the biggest depth in the league. Depth wise, for every position I reckon you have at least 1 or 2 players that could come in and do almost the same amount of job. Okay. I feel that's me. So I feel like you guys not getting results is the players, man. To me,
I agree.
These boys are really tough.
No, but I agree with you. That's what I was just about to say. Yeah. Like you just said, he's stubborn. He doesn't change things.
Not he's stubborn. He's more fixated on this whole if it's not broken, don't fix it. So but then, when it's broken, it's just harder for him to. But he will just try little things.
Is it really broken though?
To me, our performance over the past 6 weeks, apart from our last game, the game before that, sorry, has been poor.
How poor? Because I don't think it's broken. We haven't lost. How many games have we lost in the last 11 or 15 games?
Zenit, we drew after, like 3-3. A couple of games we should have won. We should be scoring up front, but we end up drawing. To me, a draw is a loss. After winning the Champions League, a draw is a loss for me.
But can you blame that against on the coach?
West Ham? Huh?
Can you blame that on the coach?
Yeah, because we're not putting in the goals up front. Because Chelsea is a team that, I get it, we score from everywhere across the park. I understand that. But up front, like, we need that pivotal dude. Lukaku's come back and you put him on the bench. Why is he on the bench?
He wasn't firing before he was injured.
Okay, but Lukaku can score, bro.
Yeah, we know he can score.
And you put Pulisic as your number 9 and you put Lukaku on the bench. Lukaku comes off the bench and scores.
But wait, you put Kai Havertz as a number 9 and the guy delivers, yeah? Not every game, but he does the job. Lukaku wasn't firing. You're saying he should change things up, but then he changes it up and then, you know what I mean?
I get what you mean.
Like Kelvin was saying, he's trying a few things to see what's going to work. I don't think we should blame him too much. In the end, we haven't lost too many games. We've drawn so many games, but that's because we weren't scoring more.
That's a loss, bro, because we're dropping heaps of points, bro.
No, that's fine. For us, it's a loss only because we were winning games like it was nothing, yeah? If you draw a game, it's not really a loss. unless you're winning games so many times and then you get
It's
a
a
draw.
loss to
and
the
you
league.
lose.
It's a loss to well, relative to the coming first. It is.
Yeah.
It is. But relative to where you like, it's not a loss.
Yeah, that's what I
mean. But the
mean.
thing is, where he's coming from is like you gotta. He's using the comparison of the start of the league and now. Look, the issue you've already pretty much said is just pretty much closing out games.
Yeah.
And finishing the opponents off. That's happened in the
And,
last.
and
couple
that
of
is
thing
that
is,
a coach, you can't coach that.
When
The
Man
players that
City
you put,
get it rolling, they get it rolling. If we're dropping points, easy points against Brighton and stuff, how are we going to catch up to these?
Literally,
people?
and that happens like every the
Every
years that
year.
Man City's won, they haven't been that great.
That
This
great,
year.
but
we're not-
even the year before. But
Yeah.
it's just a period of maybe 12 or so weeks where they just win,
Win.
and then that's the most crucial time. Everyone loses, and now look, they're about 9 points ahead or
Yeah.
whatever.
They just-
I don't see anyone coming catching
close to them. Yeah, but all I'm saying
just
is,
smashed
all
Arsenal
I'm
as well.
saying is,
Sorry, bro.
the points we're dropping. We're dropping points, but that's because we're not scoring, and that's because our defending isn't what do you change about that? It's the players that have to, put up their performance or do whatever they need to do. Changing the system's not going to fix that. Is all I mean.
All right, let Dylan say his thing, then we'll talk about that.
See, where I disagree with you, I believe it's the manager, because at this stage in the season, okay, we're playing like it's preseason, switching players, can't find a goal scorer, put Pulisic number
That's what
9.
I'm talking about.
We're not in preseason. We're in the season.
In the season.
Teams like Liverpool, teams like City, we were at the start of the season. We were saying we're on par with those teams, but now we're playing as if we're back in preseason. They're not playing like they're in preseason. So if we're really on par with those teams, and you're saying it's the players' fault, then we should be up there too. We should be up there, but it's not the players' fault. It's errors made by the coach, bro. The same players that started the season are the same players playing now. So why are we playing like preseason? Because we haven't changed any. We've still got the same players. They're still fit.
Cool.
What really has changed?
Injuries.
They're playing in different positions.
It's the coach. I'm telling you, okay, we can say they're playing in. Okay, why are they playing in different positions?
Well, because you want the coach to change things, and he's doing that. Isn't that what he's doing?
Yeah, exactly.
But Dylan's right in that
Dylan,
sense where
if he doesn't change
the
things
way
now,
he's changing is like you're trying Pulisic. At
when
number 9,
else is he going to try it?
Why would you try Pulisic at
Pulisic
nine?
was injured during preseason and all that. How else is he going to try it now? The guy doesn't have too many options. You have players sitting out because of COVID. That's unexpected. Like, if I'm a manager and that happens to me, what am I going to do? We talked about Arteta, yeah? When he had all his players off, what was happening? They were dropping
coach.
points. The best coach.
Hey.
But I tell
Hey. What?
I'm sorry, I have to say it.
Beautiful wrap-up.
You can't
Beautiful
bring
wrap-up.
Chelsea and Arsenal in the same
Beautiful
conversation.
wrap-up. Beautiful wrap-up. All right, boys. Another great episode. Happy New Year to everyone. Thanks for coming on again. As I said with episode 1, we got a lot of good feedback. So plan to do this for episode 3 and get more of the boys on. Thanks to Kelvin for jumping on as well. Thanks to Debut for David, midfielder maestro. Blonde African. And yeah, we'll see you again next week. Like, subscribe, tell your friends, friends. The Civil Talk Show. We out.
they've made it known to us. It's not today. They've always been like that. They hate the tournament for a good reason too.
They don't hate the tournament.
They do hate the tournament. If you're a coach and your best players are leaving to go play in that tournament, you know you're gonna drop points.
They don't like
You would hate it. Not just you. The big guy that owns the club that's paying these players millions of dollars, like, you know, a year, they're not gonna be happy.
Yeah,
man.
but they know that before they even
about
sign
it.
the players. Like, let's say Chelsea back in the days when we used to lose Drogba, Kalu, was like Jeremy.
Yeah, we
like
lose players, man.
I've never seen Mourinho like.
You know what you bargained for.
Said,
Exactly.
oh, little tournament.
You know what you bargained for. But it's our fault.
Of course, we don't.
That's what I'm saying.
It's not. See, we're saying media.
Yeah.
This has nothing to do with media, because and I wanted to make this.